You want to poke them in the eyes, but you can't. You're like that. No, it's this.
Let the record show that I do not want to poke any children in the eye, no matter what Noah Johnson says.
That's also why we have glasses. See?
All right.
That's why we're sitting.
Guys, these first three I don't want to spend a lot of time on. They always throw one of these on the provincial. It's got nothing to do with exponents. It's got to do with your ability to work your calculator and substitute numbers, right? That's all this is. This is filling in a formula and putting in the right number. I'm not even going to waste your time on it. Okay? Here it is. B, M is the math. So where does 27 go? M equals 27. And then you would put it into the formula. B equals 0.01, 27 to the 2/3. Then you would punch it into your calculator. Okay? Everybody got it? Yeah. Punching that into your calculator, of course, means 27 exponent button bracket 2 divided by 3 close brackets equals. That will work on every single person's calculator. Some of you have calculators that will do it differently. I don't care. I'm not going to show you every way. Okay? I am showing you the way that will work on every single calculator, guaranteed. If you wish to find a better way to do it on your machine, what was the operative words in that sentence? On your machine. So you figure it out. Got it?
Got it.
Now just to make sure, the answer of course is, make sure everyone can do it, 27 x to the y bracket 2 divided by 3 close brackets equals times 0.01 equals 0.09. Okay? Got it?
Gets it.
Good. And then, of course, these two you would just plug in the math. Do the same math. Is everyone okay? Once again, the point of this is to make sure you can use your calculator. Okay? It's more for physics than math class. Now, let's get back to actual math class.
Okay.
This will be very short. We're going to finish the notes today, and I'm going to give you one of your reviews today to finish in class here. The other one I'll give you tomorrow. Okay? I also have an announcement about something we will be doing on Monday. All right? Okay. And I want to give you your test back today, but that won't happen until 9:40, or I'm a big liar, 10:45. Huh? For the same reason it's always at the end of the period, Nadja, because once I give you back your test, none of you do anything except talk about your test.
I love that.
Okay? Okay. This looks ugly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what do you notice about that and that?
It's the same base.
It's the same base. So if this was x to the -3 times x to the 5, what would you do with those exponents? Add them. So what do you do when it's not x and x, but it is the same base? Still add it. So it is 0.3 to the 2. Now, some of you are going to tell me that answer is 0.9, aren't you?
No.
No. What is it? It is 9 something. 9's involved. What's the answer? Don't go to your calculator, cheater, pumpkin eater.
I can't do math by myself.
Yes, you can. What is 3 squared?
0.3.
What is 3 squared? 9. How many decimal places do I need? 2, because that's 0.3 times 0.3 to get 9 with 2 decimal places. 1, 2. 0.09. Or, you remember that 0.3 is 3/10, yes? And 3/10 squared is 9 over 100, which happens to be 9/100, which happens to be 0.9. 0.09.
I see something.
Huckley Duckley? Oakley dokley. Now, please look at number 2 and look at how frightening it looks. Right? Because if I ask a kid in Calculus 12 what the hardest thing in school was, he will still say fractions. I don't know why. We spent 7 years teaching you guys fractions, but for some strange reason, it's everybody's hardest thing. Do the fractions matter here? No. This is scary only because it's fractions, isn't it? Yeah. But what do you notice about that and that?
It's the same base.
It's the same. So couldn't you do this with x to the negative 4 squared times x squared to the 3?
Yes.
You could, couldn't you? As long as you remember that x equals what? Negative 3/2. Then you can do all this math, can't you? What do you do over brackets?
You missed the bracket.
Don't need it. What do you do over brackets?
Multiply.
Multiply, right? So this becomes x to the negative 8, right? Times, what's this?
6.
X to the 6. Now what do? Add to get x to the negative 2, yeah?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Now it's almost totally simplified, isn't it?
You just need to change it from a negative.
So now, this x is negative 3/2, isn't it? Are negative bases allowed? Yeah, what's the only thing that's not allowed? Negative exponents. What does a negative exponent do to a fraction? Flips it. So this becomes 2 over 3. Does the base lose its negativity? No. So it's negative 2/3 to what power? 2. What's the base?
Negative 2/3.
Negative 2/3. Is the negative part of the base?
Yes.
So when we square, what happens to the negative?
Goes away.
It goes away because it's negative times a negative, which is so what's 2 squared? 4. What's 3 squared? 9. Could you have done that with the fractions?
Yeah.
Of course you could have. Right? But I'm showing you this because that is something that is going to become very, very useful to you very soon in math class.
The test.
No, not this test. But your ability, the recognition that you are allowed to substitute something out to make something simpler will help you. Now, a great many of you are probably looking at me right now and saying, Mr. Myers, that was way more complicated to add that x in. That's fine. If you wish, I will do this whole thing with just the numbers, if you want, right now. Does anybody want to see that? If even one person wants to see it, I will show it. I don't care. I got nothing but time. Certainly. So I'm going to delete this, which you have all seen now. And we'll do this with just the numbers. So, that is negative 3/2 to the negative 8 times negative 3/2 to the 6th. Then you would add negative 3/2 to the negative 2. Then you would flip because of the negative exponent to get negative 2/3 to the positive 2. Then you would square it. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Negative 3 squared is positive 9. Okay? Parveen. That's like saying which is better, pepperoni or salami on a pizza.
Pepperoni.
Of course it's pepperoni, except for the few people that prefer salami, or the people that can't eat either. It's preference. Right? Which way, I should ask you, Parveen, which one's easier? Okay, then which one are you going to do?
The second one.
You choose, guys. I don't care. Right? That's like saying which leg do you get out of bed with in the morning?
The left.
That's crazy talk. Why would you get out of bed on your left leg? Of course you get out of bed on your right leg. How many of you have island bed?
Always get out.
Bed in the middle of the room. Grown-ups do that because they often have to share the bed. If you put the bed in the corner, then one person goes to get up, thud. It's a wall. Island bed is what grown-ups have. Kids have corner bed.
I love corner bed.
Of course you do.
You can just like.
Because then you can snuggle up to the wall, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have nobody to love.
Moving on! Gerard. All right. Gerard, I don't know how to make you understand this. Do you understand that x squared is x times x? Excellent. So we're halfway there. Well, not quite halfway, a third of the way there. Do you understand that x over y squared is x squared over y squared? Excellent. Now we're halfway there. Do you understand that x to the negative 2 is 1 over x squared? Excellent. There's now no reason to not understand why you flip a fraction. I'm going to write things in two colors now. X over x to the negative 2 over 1. Because every x is over 1, yeah? Okay. And 1 over y to the negative 2. Okay? Is that negative exponent allowed? So where does it go? To the denominator, and it becomes positive. Is that negative exponent allowed? No. So where does it have to go? To the top, and becomes positive. So now, where does the 2 go? To the x and to the y. You knew what to do with the x, you know what to do with the y, now just do it to both of them. Cool? Okay. I don't know what that is, but it's bothering me.
What?
Could be.
Sitting down.
Footsteps in science. Hannah Combo.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Okay, if it's x and y times each other to say negative 1 and then brackets and then another exponent.
X, y to the negative 1 and then another exponent like 6.
Yeah.
That is xy to the negative 6, which is x to the negative 6, y to the negative 6, which is 1 over x to the 6, y to the 6th.
Okay, because that's what I had for one of these questions, but then you had x with, it was a different number, so let's say 6. So you had x to the exponent 6 over y to the 6.
Shh, tell me which question it is.
21.
On the basic sheet,
Yeah.
21. This one?
Yeah.
Oh, because x cubed y to the negative 3, because the x has a 1. So it's 3 times 1 is 3. That's why.
Oh, so if there was another...
See, what I just drew was xy to the negative 1. They were both getting the negative 1. Got it? Sweet. See, I told you I had an answer, Noah. One day you guys will ask me a question that is answerable and I won't know the answer to. It will happen. It has to happen. There's 30 brains in here. However, unlike many adults in your life, I will say, I have no idea, let's find out. I won't lie to you and say, well, maybe it's this, or, well, obviously the stork brought you.
How many universes are there?
Huh? Infinite. But that's, again, my belief.
Universities?
Oh, did you say universities?
No.
I thought you said how many universes. Oh, how many universities are in the world? Oh, I have no idea. Because that would be something that you would Google. Why would I waste my headspace with that? Albert Einstein never knew his own address. Because he could look it up. Mind you, he was also solving the mysteries of time. Because he recognized how much RAM he had in his brain, and he used it to solve the mysteries of the universe, not to waste time with his address. Much like you guys could use your RAM to do math, not watch YouTube videos of people falling and smashing their balls on picket fences. Okay? And it's always fun to use that because I always see who laughs at the joke every time, and it's always the people that I would think would laugh at the joke every time. Girls never laugh at the joke, but boys are always like, yeah, epic fails in 2014. That was wicked, man. I totally watched that and shared it with all my buddies. And all the guys are like, yeah, of course.
It's like that wild movie.
All right. Hey, how many of you guys are going to go see Hardcore Henry? Me. Of course you are. The first-person movie. Because you all love first-person shooters, because that's going to be awesome. You guys are all better take barf bags, because you are going to be yakking up. You are going to yak up your popcorn. It's going to be disgusting, and I don't want to be a person working in theater. Some of you work in a theater right now. You do, don't you? Do you have to ever clean it up, or do you work in concession? You do both? You guys better not go to the Galaxy here or there and watch Hardcore Henry, or Lon's going to have to clean up your puke. Huh? What? Yeah. Yeah. Hardcore Henry. It's that movie where it's shot from the first person. So I'm Henry. All you see, you never see my face. All you see are my hands and what I see. So when I jump off a building, you see, oh, you see my hand getting in the way.
We should watch the
No!
after.
No!
You know, it looks
What do I do here?
After.
What do I do here?
math.
What do I do here?
They're all the same bases.
They're all the same base, so what do you do? 1.4 to the 7th over 1.4 to the negative 2, which is what?
Number.
1.4 to the 9th. Can you do that in your head? It would take a very long time, but you could, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Right? You couldn't do it in your head. You have to do it on paper without a calculator. That is what I want, though. Because I say evaluate?
No.
No.
I said simplify. What's this one? Both! Oh my God, it's fractions. Does it matter?
They have the same.
They're all the same base. So what do you do with the bottom first?
Lots.
You plus it?
But they have
Okay, Mrs. Bad Crumble. We don't plus things. What do we say? We add. What's 1/3 and 5/3? 6/3! Yeah!
you and fries.
Now what do you do here?
Good times.
What do you do here?
Subtract.
You subtract. What's 2/3 take away 6/3?
4/3.
Negative 4/3.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes? Are negative exponents allowed?
No.
So what happens?
Flip.
1/7 to the positive 4/3. Now, what if that answer isn't there?
Then you evaluate.
Then no, you continue to simplify the only other way you know how. Fractional exponents do what? 1/cubed root of 7 to what power?
4.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, go play.
Okay. I've been having to watch a lot of Full House lately, Nadja. Let's keep that away from my math
How
class.
about Fuller House?
I don't mind Fuller House because I was a little too old to watch Full House when it was actually on, but I know enough of it through trivia. So when I see Fuller House, and some of the jokes on it are pretty funny, right? Like when they say Michelle couldn't come because she's running her fashion empire in New York. That's true, because Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen wouldn't do Fuller House, and they do have a fashion empire in New York. That was funny. When they make jokes like that, it's funny. And there was another one. Stephanie was changing the baby's diaper on Fuller House and says, man, I changed so many of Michelle's diapers, it felt like there were two of her. Because, of course, there were two. You know what is most surprising about Full House?
What?
That those two goblin babies, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, grew up into something that you didn't want to spit at and run from with torches and pitchforks. Because they were the ugliest babies ever. No, they weren't. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were ugly little babies. They looked like troll dolls. They totally did. Don't say they didn't. And now, they're at least, you could look at them and say, oh yes, those are people. Kind of. All right. They're not really people because they're, of course, movie stars. Yeah, well, no, because they've been built. They're more androids. All right.
They ain't no animal.
What do you do here?
Stuff with math.
Multiply.
No, you add them, you dumb.
X to the fifth,
Sorry.
because we do x to the 3 plus 2,
So steamed.
and y to the 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. So I have x to the fifth, y to the negative 2. Is that allowed?
No.
Which has to move? The y. So it becomes x to the fifth over y to the 2. And we have to stop there. Why?
There's no numbers. No letters.
Numbers. There's letters there, buddy.
They're different bases. One's an x, one's a y. Okay? Cool in the gang?
Would it be wrong if we did x to the power of 5 and then like separately we did 1 and y 2, like 1 over y 2?
So you're saying this, x to the fifth, then 1 over y squared.
Yeah.
Which one looks more elegant and simple?
Well, that one, but that's the
Top or bottom?
top.
So which one are you going to do?
Is it still acceptable?
Well, that's kind of like saying is 10 minus 3 plus 5 or 12? Which do you write?
12.
12. So which do you write here? That one. Okay? It was a good question, because this is mathematically correct, but it's ugly. And in math, we like elegance. Math is the black tie, long dress evening of school subjects.
On the provincial, that probably won't be.
On the provincial, this won't be there. This will. Okay? Now, what about this? What's the best way to approach this, do you think? 10 over 5, A5 over A3, and B3 over B to the negative 2. If you're not yet good at this, then think of them separately. Do you think I do this? No, of course not. But you guys are not as practiced as me, so you probably want to split it up. Do you need to rewrite it? Not necessarily. You could just draw lines, but whatever. What's 10 divided by 5? 2. What if it doesn't simplify perfectly? Then you simplify it like a fraction. You leave a numerator and a denominator, right? Like if you had 16 over 6, right? It would be 8 over 3, yeah? Then, 5 and 3, what do? Subtract. 5 minus 3 is?
8.
2 is positive. 5 minus 3. Okay.
I just said
2 is positive, correct?
Yeah.
So it stays up with the numerator. 3 minus minus 2. 5. Also positive, so it stays up with the numerator. Everybody good? Okay. Barf. Doesn't matter, because the base is the same, right?
Yeah.
What do you do over brackets?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. What is negative 3 times negative 5? Positive 15. So did it matter that either of those was negative? No, because when we simplified it, we ended up with positive, so it's going to stay right there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Over 1.5 to the 5. Are those the same base?
Yeah.
So what do I do?
Subtract.
Subtract 1.5 to the 15 minus 5, which is 1.5 to the 10th. Do I leave it that way? Yes, because this is evaluate, this is simplify, not evaluate. Okay? Oh, yuck.
No.
Both-tastic. If this was a 2, where would this exponent go? Inside the brackets to which terms? All of them. So does it matter that it's a 1/3?
No.
No, it still goes to each term.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have 8 to the 1/3, because what's 8's exponent right now? 1, and when I go over brackets, I multiply, right?
Yeah.
So 1 times 1/3 is 1/3. What is 3 times 1/3? Is it really? 3 times 1/3? 1. Thank you. And B, 6 times 1/3? 2. Then I just deal with them. 8 to the 1/3. Do I know how to deal with fractional exponents?
Yeah.
What is it? 3 is the index, 8 is the radicand, and it's all to the power of 1. Do I have a right to the power of 1? No. What's the cube root of 8?
2.
2. A is positive, so where does he go? Nowhere. He stays in the numerator. B squared is positive, so where does he go? Stays up top. Done diddly-un. Excuse me. And the last 2 questions of the whole unit. Go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's for us.
more for you. I'm going to wait a moment and let you attempt 9.
Okay.
Noah is working his theme song right now.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's like James Bond, but like.
But like in Math 10, where there's no life or death and you're an actual
Only
person.
me and the rest of the class. I didn't think I could make it, but I did.
That is boring.
No, it's better.
It's a lot better on pizza.
Oh, good gravy. These 80-minute blocks get longer and longer some days.
I want gravy
Yes, me too.
with some potato. Goodness.
Opposite. That involves the math. Right?
I'm trying to do my work here.
I am correct.
All right, you guys have had a bit of time.
Yes.
I'm betting most of you split it up. What is 4 divided by 2?
2.
2. What is negative 2 minus 2?
Negative 4.
A to the negative 4. What is 2/3 minus 1/3?
1/3.
1/3. What is the only thing there that needs to move?
The negative 4.
Why?
Because it's negative.
Because it's a negative
No.
exponent.
Yes.
If it were a negative base, would it move?
No.
No. And what happens to the exponent? Becomes positive. Is that done? Yes. Is there another way I could write it if that answer wasn't there?
Yeah.
What would be the other way I would write it? 2 cube root b over a to the 4th.
Yes.
This is exponential form. This is radical form. Do not ask me which one I want to see, because they are equally valid. The only time I would care is if I put in the instructions which way to write it. Do you understand me? Yes. What did I just say?
I was actually gonna ask.
No, seriously, I just said that, Nadia. Don't ask me which one, because the only time it would matter is if the instructions told you which ones to do. Do you understand? Or, on a provincial that's multiple choice, which ones are there. Understand? Now, the only way they could trick you is have A, B, something else, and then D, both. A and B. They could do that to you. Okay? No, not KKK.
That's a KK.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Don't worry, I didn't.
All right. Last one.
Tastic.
Barf-tastic.
It's a word.
How many ways could you approach this? Can you deal with the brackets first? If you want to. Can you deal with the exponent first?
Yeah.
If you want to, what is the danger of dealing with the exponent first? If you forget that that 1/2 goes to which terms?
All of
Every single one of them. So if you deal with the exponent first, you have to deal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operations, don't you? At once. If you deal with the brackets first, you can keep it simpler. Do you understand what I'm saying? Again, it is your choice in how you approach a problem, because whose math question is this? Yours. So you decide how to do it. How are you going to do it, Supreet? You're going to go inside the brackets? How many people are going to go inside the brackets?
I am.
I am too.
How many people are going to deal with the exponent first?
Not me.
I vote president.
Oh. Way to go, Anastasia!
She's not
All right.
going to do it.
Go! She's not just saying that.
She wants to make you feel better.
So if you're dealing with inside the brackets, what's 100 divided by 25? 4. A divided by A to the 5th.
I thought we were.
A to the negative 4. Why am I leaving it as a negative?
Because we're later.
I want to, because I know there's future stuff happening, right? This isn't my final answer. So I'm leaving it, because I don't know what's going to happen later. And B has to stay where? In the denominator. And now the whole thing is to the 1/2. Now what do I do?
Now you
4 to the 1/2 is what? 2. What is negative 4 times 1/2? Negative 2.
Yeah.
And I'm still leaving it
not done it.
over b to the what? Negative 1/4. Because 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. Now, have I dealt with everything?
No.
Now I move the stuff around. What moves?
The negatives.
Every negative exponent must move. So, does 2 move?
No.
No, because he has no negative exponent. Does A to the negative 2 move?
Yes.
Where does he move? To the bottom. What happens to his negative exponent?
Comes positive.
Positive.
Does B to the 1/4 move?
Yes.
Where?
To the top.
To the top. What happens to his exponent?
Positive.
Positive. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
In which form?
The exponent.
Exponential. Can you turn that into radical form for me?
Yes, I can.
And what would that be?
The index would be the 4.
2. 4th root.
Yes.
B
Yes.
over A squared.
Yeah.
Good?
Done.
Done.
Gerard. Because A has a negative, so he has to move. Here? Because A, you could have moved A right now. You absolutely could have. I left it up there because there was more stuff happening and he might have ended up positive. Okay? That's why. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
All right, your final job for this unit is the last 3 questions, and I'm going to give you your first review, and then I'm going to hand out your test. Hokey dokey? I'm giving you your... Start on them now while I give out your review.
Oh, and then you... Okay, never mind. I thought you meant like our
Look at the
new
horrors
test.
I do.
No.
I was like, what?
No, I'm not going to be testing this one. You haven't seen the review.
What? What do you want?
Look at how
I can see. He's a little scary. You're ticking me off, Noah.
You know what ticks me off?
You?
Clocks.
Why?
They always like tick tock.
Okay. That's enough, Noah.
Yo.
That is enough, Noah. I'm
You
disappointed.
better.
No, I'm disappointed.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go over that, don't we? Grab it on that.
What do we need to go over?
Okay, guys, I know that you would rather see your actual test than do the pre-IB section, because we gotta mark that.
It's
Like
on
we
check
have
my
to
mark
every single
anyways.
time.
It's on checker mark anyways.
No, well, the marks on the test are on check my mark,
Yeah.
but you still all want to see it. So I guess we'll go over your pre-IB section on Monday when I'm back. Yes.
N to the O to the double AA.
Nothing but class right now, Jim.
N to the O to the double AH. N to the O to the double AH. No, what? He's no No, 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 Noah. Yeah, no.
This is review 1.
Don't worry.
Tomorrow, your substitute teacher, your teacher on call, will give you review number 2.
What'd you call her?
I am giving you 2 reviews because this unit, for whatever reason, causes grief.
So would you say on Friday, do we have to write both of our review scores on the test?
No, on Friday, we're not going to do scores for this review. Let's give these out so you can see how you did. It was out of 33. Skipper.
You got 1. That's good. 1.
Kobe.
I got 1 out of 30.
You know what that is? A pass.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
There's so many people behind me. I keep on forgetting we're in the front. I'm like, hey, we're in the front. But I keep on forgetting how many people are behind me.
Yeah, I know. I forget all those people in the class.
I never look behind me.
Because we're the only ones that are
Like,
Nice job.
I don't like it.
I see you
James A.
and Roy and that person who's the guy who put up the last name. And the other person, Jennifer.
Tatum. You're going to want
I
to
know,
have close around. Yeah.
3 out of 6. I could count. Good at counting. That's fine, man.
Way over there.
That's good. You have that twin, right? Cool. Are you the one with glasses?
Nadja.
They both have glasses.
Oh,
Alon.
I can mix up all this time.
Dave. Nice work.
I don't know either one of your names, so. Twin with glasses, twin with other glasses. That will solve all my problems and leave no questions behind.
No, you disappoint me.
Why am I disappointing?
I don't know.
You named a song after me. It was hilarious. We both said the right thing about the wall and the bed. It was really sad. What?
Do you have a secret?
Right there. You don't get to keep this. It's a test. Ms. Combo. Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Mr. Cook.
Oh yeah. That's a good score. No, you didn't.
I did.
What did you get?
And
25.
Oh man.
Just kidding, I got 20, 25.
I.
Really?
Yeah.
I beat you?
By a little bit, yeah.
4.
All right. If I had to
Count to 5.
not count to 5, if I had to count to 5, I would go 1.
If you
2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 12, 20. And then you'd stop.
What?
I just so dumb. I just read what you wrote in the test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's nothing personal. Right? Like, every year somebody does it, Alon. Every year somebody does it. I'm glad you told people because I was just going to say, somebody in the class did this. Every year someone does it. Don't feel bad. But we don't use commas anymore for thousands. That's really messing with my kids' head. Because in French, they don't use decimals, they use commas. Alright, so if I had to say questions that were done poorly by a lot of people, number 2.
Yep.
Oh, I got number 2 right.
Integers are numbers, positive and negative, no fractions. B. Number 3 was done a little bit poorly. Natural numbers, they're the counters. Which one of those do we hit if I say let's count together? 9. Then everybody else was okay. Everyone was okay with 6, 7. Number 8 was, no, number 8 was okay.
Number 9.
Number 9 was done shockingly poorly.
I saw you marking them.
Because what is missing from there and there in the factors of 24? 1 times 24. So it had to be C. I would love to say slow down and take longer, but don't. Read more carefully. This page was done mostly right. I have no problem with that page. And I have very little problem with the last page except this. 1. 84,210 is not a number in English anymore. We don't use commas for thousands. Okay? Every year somebody makes a factor tree for 84,210. Every year somebody does it. It's awesome. Which is why I don't change it, quite frankly. I could just go in here and type "and" right there. But no, I love the factor tree. Because it's huge. It's like a redwood. Anyway. The problem with this question was this. Did I ever actually ask for the GCF? No. What did I ask for?
The GCF.
Product of primes. So, technically, all I needed was 2 times 3 times 7. A great many of you showed me that up in your work, but then wrote 42 down there. No problem. I'm okay with that. All right? Except if you did 84,210, which I think I gave you full marks for anyway, didn't I? Did I give you 2 out of 2?
Yeah.
It's because you did it right. Just with 84,000. Okay? Hell, anybody that makes a factor tree for 84,000 deserves some marks. I'm